Hello and welcome back to Math with Ms. V. We're still looking at some surface area and let's just get started. So in the previous video, we looked at how to find surface area of 3D shapes. In this video, we will look at how to find the surface area of composite figures. Still in standard 7G6, we added in 3D shapes composed of cubes and right prisms. Remember, a composite figure is a figure made of two or more 2D or 3D shapes combined. So we're going to focus on using our parallelogram and triangular formula. We're not really going to deal with a lot of circles in this video. So let's look at our first example. We have two rectangular prisms that have been combined, and we want to find the surface area of them. Now it's important, I'm going to outline this rectangle in red where the two sides touch each other. Okay, we're not going to count this in our surface area because it does not face the outside of any of our shapes. Think about it if you were building a model that you had to glue at the end and then paint. Well, you wouldn't glue it together and then take it apart, paint it, and glue it back together. Okay, so there would be no paint in this section I've shaded red because we can no longer reach that. I'm just going to erase that and then we'll get right back. Okay, so let's start with the larger rectangle. So we have two rectangles here. And let's look at the first one. We can see this 2x3 section facing the top is visible. So we would count that in our surface area. And we have 2 times 3, but then we also have the bottom facing rectangle, which we can't see. Then let's look at our front facing rectangle. So we have this, sorry again with my outlining. Okay, this is 5x3 and it is visible. And then we would include the back, all of that would be visible. Where we start seeing some interesting things is the left and right rectangle. So I'm going to outline this left rectangle as best I can. Even though we can't see it, we know it's there. And we can see it's 5 by 2 meters. Now the problem arises is not all of the other side is visible. I'm going to highlight it in just a different shade of green. So not all of this is visible. So we don't need to count everything. Well, I can see that one of my dimensions is still 2 meters. But what's this height? So I look and I see the total height is 5 meters. But the height of the lower rectangle is 2 meters. I'm going to write that here. So I've used up 2 meters. How many meters do I still have to the top? Well, if I've already used up 2 out of 5, that leaves me 3 meters. So this lighter green rectangle is 3 by 2. Okay. Now I'm going to clear all of my rectangles so that we can focus on the other side. Again, we have a top facing rectangle, which is this one here. We can see its dimensions are 4 by 2 meters. It would match the bottom, 4 times 2. We then have a front facing rectangle here, which again is 4 by 2 meters. The back would match. And finally, we have a right facing rectangle, which is 2 by 2 meters. We are not going to include the left facing rectangle because that's where we've glued our rectangles together. So we have 2 times 3 is 6. I have 2 of them. So 6 times 2 is 12. 5 times 3 is 15. Again, I have 2. 15 times 2 is 30. 5 times 2 is 10. 3 times 2 is 6. I have 3 4 times 2s. So 4 times 2 is 8 times 3. That gives us 24. And 2 times 2 is 4. So I'm going to add everything. So 4 plus 6 is 10. 10 plus 2 is 12. 12 plus 4 is 16. Carry my 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So my total is 86 meters squared is the surface area of my 2 combined rectangular prisms. Let's go on and look at one more example, and that would be this cube with the pyramid. So the cube makes things easy in that all of the outside facing sides are the same. I'm just going to sketch myself a little square right here and put 5 times 5. I know a cube has 6 sides, but one of them is where I'd glued on my pyramid, so I only have 5 of these. So I'm going to list it 5 times. If you're good at math, you can list it as 5 times 5 times 5. Now I'm going to move on to my triangle. So because it's a cube, I know the base section of my triangle is 5 feet. I can see they've given me the height of 4 feet. And every triangle around the pyramid would be the same because it's a square pyramid. I'm going to list this 4 times. Now I'm ready to do my multiplying. So 5 times 5 is 25, and then I have 5 of those. That gives me 125. 5 times 4 is 20, and I have 4 of those. That gives me 80. When I add, I get a total of 205 feet squared for the surface area of this composite figure. Thanks for joining this Math with Miss V. I look forward to seeing you in the future.